Here's basically the story of what happened to the Donner Party before being rescued. All right, so it was 1846, Manifest Destiny. People were heading west across the Great Plains, setting up a new life, getting land in Oregon and California. They were going to have a brand new life. So this guy named George Donner puts an ad in the paper. He said, hey, I'm going west. Does anybody want to come with me? Donner.
I'll go.
Oh, I wish James Reed said that. You see, Reed, his wife was having all sorts of health problems. And he thought, you know what? For my wife, sure, why not? Because she's not doing well here. Maybe she'll do better in the West. So I'm going to join the Donner Party. So Reed, who has the money, obviously, he brings this giant thing, which was known as the Prairie Palace. That's what his kids called it anyway. It was 2 stories high. It needed 8 oxen to pull it. It had a stove in it and bunks for the kids. Because realize a lot of these people were bringing their kids with them as well. So they stop in Wyoming. And there's a bit of a fight between Donner and Reed. They're in a disagreement because, you see, Donner has read this book from this guy named Lansford Hastings, who was a land purveyor and a guy that was trying to encourage as many people as possible to go to California. And this Hastings shortcut that Donner was sure would save him a lot of time and a lot of travel. So he decides, I can't remember Donner's voice. I'm going to follow the Hastings shortcut. And Reed said,
let's not do that.
I'm going to do that. And Reed was like,
I don't think it's a good idea.
So Reed went his way and Donner went their way. So off they went. Here's the interesting little side note. Hang on. Hastings had never taken the shortcut. He'd never checked it out. I don't know why he said it, but I guess to encourage more people to come, he told everybody, misinformation. Hey, take this shortcut. He hadn't taken it. He didn't know, but he had it in the book. So Donner said, I'm taking the shortcut. Okay. So Donner sets out with 89 people. 30 of them are children, right? They go across, and they are facing cold and heat as they make their way up across the salt flats. And the wind is blowing dust and salt in their face. They can find very little water for their animals or the rest of the people there. They end up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it is snowing. I mean, snowing. 4 to 5 feet of snow on the ground has trapped them there. So 15 from the Donner Party go out in search of somebody trying to save them because they're hunkering down there. They've been down there and been stuck there in the Sierra Mountains for weeks on end. So the 15 go out and try to get some sort of help. Well, while they're there, the 15, they run into big problems. A few of them die, and they end up, because they're just starving to death, they eat those that have died there of the 15. Well, at the Donner Party, those that are left behind, they have 2 Native Americans that they're paying. Well, they kill those guys, and they eat those guys, which was not against the law. And then, because they were eating everything they possibly could, they would take the bones from the animals. They ate all the oxen. They ate the dogs, and they heated everything up, and they would make some weird kind of gruel left over from the marrow. They were eating the hides of the animals, anything to possibly stay alive as long as they possibly could. And when they killed the Native Americans and ate them, at that point, it was every man for themselves, because the way the Donner Party looked at this is, we've got to keep our kids alive, right? They had to do everything they possibly could. So they were stuck there in the Sierra Nevada mountains with the snow. The 15 that had gone off, I can't remember how many of them died. I think 7 of them came back. But finally, they were rescued on this day, as a matter of fact. And a few that were alive to tell the story of the Donner Party. Well, news spreads quickly, obviously, on this. And people are just outraged. And it's all about cannibalism, and they are pilloried in public because of this terrible thing that they had to do, or they did do with cannibalism. Everyone just couldn't wait to read more about the horrible Donner Party that did this. Well, for a while there, very few people decided, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go across. I'm not going to be involved in anything like this. So for a while it stopped. But then somebody said, hey, there's gold in them there hills. There's gold in them there hills.
Gold?
Oh, yeah. So 1948, the gold rush gets started, and people get back on their, carriages and horses and head west again. But forever, to this day, history will always see that Donner Party and the mistake that they made by following the instructions of Mr. Hastings, who had never taken that shortcut before. And that's what ended up causing them to have the horrible demise of having to eat grandma.
This is a disaster!
Exactly.